Okay, so I was looking at my card of the day. This picture or screenshot is from the Mystic Mondays app. Um, you are going to watch a few different screenshots kind of like move around or whatever, because this was the easiest way to do it instead of trying to do a voiceover on TikTok, because it wasn't enough pictures to get out my thoughts or whatever, right? But I was sitting here pulling my card of the day in the Mystic Mondays app. And so the tarot card of the day for me was the moon card, which makes sense. The animal of the day was the fish, which makes sense. And it's just crazy, right? And then the stone of the day was, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I think it's pronounced lazulite. I'm waiting for it to come back. Yeah, lazulite, right? So then I was reading it and I was like, oh, this theme, right? And then it took me to Lazarus, and I was like, okay, wait, they both start with Laz, right? I had taken a medical terminology class, and like I was taught about like the beginning of the word, the middle of the word, the end of the word, right? Prefix, suffix, all that stuff, right? Point is, I noticed that the last were the beginning of each one, and they both kind of spoke to this like cosmic energy, right? Well, I wanted to share this because I was like, wow, here's another like beautiful example of like a synchronicity where you have these three different avenues. Like there are some people who believe in numerology, but they don't necessarily believe in like the Bible, or they may not even necessarily believe in stones, right? Or you have people who believe in stones, but they don't believe in numerology, or they don't follow the Bible. Or you have people that follow the Bible, and they don't believe in stones, or they don't believe in numbers, right? Like there's these things where they can be separate, but they can also be together. And I just wanted to show a lifetime example of how that is working. For me, this was like confirmation and encouragement. I don't know, maybe this will be something helpful for you, right? But you see the lazulite, as I highlighted, is connected to the third eye. What is our third eye? It's our spiritual eye, right? It's also connected to, I mentioned like helping with stress and anxiety, and just trusting that things will work out, helping you have a clear mind so that way you can reach a resolution, helping you like battle kind of like the personal demons. Now, mind you, full disclosure, when I'm using demons in this context, please know, like, I don't believe that demons are evil, right? I don't believe that demons are evil. So that's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, then you look at angel number 44. What does it talk about? Like, call in angels, call in your support, trust that you are provided for. I got the angel number 44 from looking up the scripture because I was curious about the Lazarus piece, right? The last, right? Now look here, John 11. What's the number 11? 11 is like a enlightenment number. It's connected to like pillars, right? It's these different things. But then you see the scripture that I highlighted, it was verse 44. So that's what made me look up angel number 44. A lot of people already know or have their own beliefs about 11, but I just wanted to share 44 because they literally all connected, right? So make sure you are taking time to work through your fears. There has been a lot of chaotic energy in the air, which is part of why I kind of backed away, or like kind of hid. I didn't know if it was just me or if it was like the world, like the planets, right? But starting about Thursday, Friday, I started to feel this ick, but it wasn't depression ick. So I was like, oh, I feel great. Like, I love how things are working out. Like, there were times where I thought I didn't have enough money, or I knew, like, for example, I wanted to support somebody, and I was like, well, I have $40 in my account, and their item costs $40, but I would really benefit from the item that they are providing, and I also want to support them. And so I spent the $40 or whatever, and I was like, it's okay, money will come back. And literally, I came home, and there was a payment in the mail, and it happened the next day where I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to take care of this. Like, I want my event to go smooth. I'm not gonna worry about it. The massage therapist that I had, I mentioned, like, there was this blip, right? Like, I made this mistake in how I calculated the ticket pricing and everyone having a massage. So instead of charging people for my mistake, I told her, this week, let's just cut it short and then I'll cover it next time. But she was so amazing at the event. It did not feel fair for her to stay over after she had already agreed to leave early, and not be compensated for that. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna worry about it. God got me, right? So I was like, just send me a request, just send me an invoice, send me your Cash App, whatever, and just tell me how much. I'm not even gonna worry about it. Mind you, at this time, I barely had enough to pay what was getting ready to come out of my account on Monday. So what happens that night? I get a direct deposit for $90 before everything cleared out of my account. So even though my account was negative at first when I woke up, all I had to do was transfer the money over and my account was clear and I had no overdraft fee, right? And then it happened again where I was like, well, I'm getting some damn groceries. I don't know what this gonna look like, but we just gonna work it out. It's gonna work out. Literally every day I was like, it's just gonna work out. It's just gonna work out. But there was still this ick that I was fighting, and I knew it wasn't mine because things were going too beautiful, right? And then bam, you hear about the shooting and just all these other different things, right? And I was like, okay, thank you for confirmation. I had an urge to stay away from social media as much. I would post, but I wouldn't really scroll. And then a few times I broke that rule, I felt super drained and just exhausted, right? Well, again, that number 11, not only is it having faith or trusting what you're manifesting, or trusting your spirit team, whether you believe in ancestors, angels, fairies, all of them. I'm an all of them type person. Whatever you believe in, right? You also got to believe in yourself. You have to go within and trust yourself. Well, what is the easiest way to learn how to trust yourself? Is going within and removing the blockages and things that's keeping you asleep, right? When we talk about sleep, because that's one of the things I highlighted, or that's here in the scripture, right? When we talk about Lazarus, right, is this sleep. And just the people surrounding Jesus and how they had this disbelief, right? And this confusion and this chaos. No matter what is happening around you, no matter what spiritual path you belong to, you have to know, let me rephrase that. It's important to listen to yourself and listen to your needs, and not feel like you just have to go with the crowd or go with the emotion that you're feeling, because that heaviness that I felt that I knew I wasn't mine, had I not paid attention to my emotions and what was happening around me, I wouldn't have even known that it wasn't mine. My mindset could have been different and I would have operated differently. And then here's these other people that I met during the weekend. They might not have gotten a blessing that they might have needed, I don't know, or they deserved, or I could have been perceived as unpleasant to work with because I'm in a funky mood, or I would have just spent all that extra energy being stressed out or frustrated instead of creative and having fun, because I had a ball this damn weekend, right up to today. And then again today, I was like, I don't know, bam, came home, it was money in the mail, right? So literally every day, while I'm kind of in this halfway hermit mode, because with my job and with what the extra things that I do, it requires me to be accessible to people. It requires me to have access to people, which means that even if I know that there's a shift happening in the universe, in the earth, right? I can't always just completely go off grid, right? I'm learning how to trust myself and operate from a place of hermit mode, but still be productive to what me and spirit, what we're working on, right? So I just thought this was a beautiful synchronicity. It was right on time for me. And I was like, well, maybe other people will benefit. And I just noticed at the bottom 13. Sorry, y'all. So 13 connected to the number 4, but also 13 is a very lucky number. It's a very lucky number. My mom's birthday is 413. When I see 413 on things, I know that things are going to work out, right? There's something coming, there's money coming, right? But anyway, I just love it because it just keeps coming. Be creative and open-minded, and know who you are. Learn who you are. No one on this app can tell you who you are. I'm going to argue No one can precisely, down to a T, tell you what your spiritual experience will look like as far as it being the best for you, because you have to experience things and kind of choose and try things, right? You can expand your horizons, and you can follow teachers, whether it's me, whether it's a religious leader, whether it's a spiritual leader, whether it's a best friend, whether it's a parent. But if you're not taking that on with a grain of salt and like still exploring and being curious, and waking up on your own, you are just in a different level of sleep, right? You're still sleep, it just looks different. So I didn't mean to make this that long. Yep. But yeah, so if you want, go ahead and read it. If not, I definitely understand, because I definitely flooded y'all with information. But I just thought that was beautiful. Like the lazulite, I think I said it right. I'm on because like I am recording actively as these move around. Oh yeah, lazulite. The lazulite and just what that meant, and then Lazarus and that story and what I take from it, and then the verse 44, and then the angel number 44, and even with it being in John 11, the number 11. So yeah. But either way, have a beautiful night. I hope this encouraged some people. Like, believe whatever you want to believe, right? People talk about being delusional. You don't have to be delusional to be open-minded. You don't have to be delusional to believe that what you want will come into fruition against all odds. But I do understand that concept. I do understand why people use that logic or that framework or that mindset. But for those of us where being delusional does not work, and it actually just really legitimately pushes you towards a level of delusion that's unhealthy, right? Believe. Just believe. Even if you have to remove dates or timestamps from when things will happen or unfold, just leave it open. This is going to happen. This is going to work out, right? Like this weekend, charges and expenses and all types of stuff kept coming up with getting ready for events and stuff like that. And I was like, that's all right. The money going to come. That's all right. The money going to come. That's okay. This going to work out. That's okay. It's in my account now. And every day, and I'm not saying it's going to always be like that either, right? It's duality, take balance. Taking things with a grain of salt. But every day that I needed to do something or wanted to do something from my heart, it was replaced and then some, right? I spent $30. Shoot, my account is literally at $5. Another $100 come, or $50 come, or $25 come, or whatever, right? Up till today. It's one of those things where I could have been frustrated that I had all these things that needed to be done, and I could have, not looked out for people when they went above and beyond for me. But then that's only like snowballing the problem. That's not adding to the solutions or the hard work or the lighter energy, right? I don't like light versus dark, because people abuse the word dark, and people abuse the word light. But you understand what I'm saying here. At least I hope. So I hope this encouraged some people. Have a good night.